Friends, I'm Uluğ. My real name is Muhammad Taragay. I'm an astronomer, mathematician, historian and poet. I'm the fourth Sultan of the Trumut state. They call me scholar ruling the state. I dedicate my state's resource to science. I established observations and madrasas. Would you like to know me better? I was born in 1393 in Sultaniye. My father was Sultan Shahrukh and my mom was Gevher Shah Sultan. My grandfather Emir Timur was very happy when I was born. He even made the whole city happy when he received the good news. My father was an uncompromising person in terms of discipline. He gathered the best scholars of the time in his palace. My childhood was spent with these scholars under the observation and supervision of my grandfather Emir Timur. My grandfather loved and praised me as Uluğ. Over time, my name was forgotten, and I became known only by this nickname. I was very interested in religion and science, as well as state administration. I discovered new methods in mathematics. I read a lot of books. I was especially interested in history books. When my father went on Baghdad expedition, he took me with him to gain experience. The madrasa, which I saw during the expedition, founded by the great Muslim astronomer Nasiruddin Tusi about 800 years ago, impressed me a lot. There was even an observatory for astronomical studies in the madrasa. Nasiruddin Tusi was an exemplary scholar in astronomy. That day, I decided to become an astronomer. Kadızade Musa Efendi from Bursa was also one of the important scholars of the period. My grandfather appointed him as my personal teacher. In addition to Islamic lessons, I also took mathematics and astronomy lessons from Musa Efendi. At the age of 16, I was appointed as Hakan to the Transoxiana region. During my 40 years of management in Transoxiana, I always ruled there with justice. Like my father and grandfather, I attached great importance to art and science. I established the largest science center and observatory of the period. The construction of these structures took 12 years exactly. The most famous architects, engineers and masters of the period displayed all their talent while constructing the structures. I continued my studies in this science center. I had astronomical maps drawing on the ceiling and wall of the observatory. Until the invention of the telescope, these drawings served the science of astronomy. I established one of the biggest libraries of my time in Samarkand. I made Samarkand a center of science and art. Many scholars such as Cemşit, Ali Kuşçu and Kadızade Musa took part in this science center. I developed the estimated values of the scholars before me in the light of mathematics and geometry. New astronomical instruments were discovered in observatories and madrasas, and old ones were developed. Books written in madrasas during this period were used as textbooks in schools in the East and West for 300 years. They were translated into many world languages. We renewed astrolabe, the instrument that measures the angles of stars and celestial bodies, inspired by the previous ones. We made an astrolabe about 40 meters in diameter. Because of my work, the scientist world considered me as the astronomer of the 15th century. A crater region on the lunar surface was named Uluğ. Are you as interested in the stars, the sky, and science as I am? Maybe, after getting to know me, you will consider making a small visit to this region where my name is given, and even decide to work as much as I do and have your name written next to my name. I was putting all the information I had acquired into books so that everyone could benefit. The most important of the books I have written is Uluğ. One of the originals of this book is in the Ayasofya library today. In this work, I talked about the coordinates of more than 1,000 stars, especially constellations in the sky and different astronomy events. This book, which I wrote 550 years ago, is considered one of the 3 most important books in its field. We have not only collected our scientific studies in these works, but also used them in all areas of our lives. We also used the data we obtained from scientific studies in architecture. In this way, some of the works that I have made are still standing, even after 550 years. If you go to Samarkand, 3-story observatory, madrasas, and palaces are open to visitors, waiting for you. You should definitely visit. Friends, I also loved poetry and poets. Especially Sekaki and Ismeti Buhari are the most important poets who lived in my period. In a poem by Sekaki, he praised both himself and me by saying, no matter how much the breaks changes, it will not be able to see a wise sultan like you, nor a Turkish poet like me. I hope my life has encouraged you to explore and improve on the topics that interest you. I discovered what I was interested in during a trip and worked to learn more about it with great pleasure. Discover the topics you are interested in and start collecting information about them right away. Do not forget, every knowledge you learn is a new success for you. Dear children, I want you to know that I will be proud of your achievements. Don't forget to set high goals for yourself.